All praises to the Most High, AHAYAH, and to his son, YAHAYASHA, YAHAYASHA Messiah, YAHAYAH. This is Brother Holly with the second Spirit of Truth broadcast here on the AHAYAH House channel, as well as the House of AHAYAH channel on this set-apart Sabbath day. First and foremost, as always, I'd like to give all glory, praise, and honor to the great I am, he who is, was, and is to come, the Almighty One, YAHAYAH, and to his son, YAHAYASHA Messiah, who gave himself for us that we might have life, and that life is in him, YAHAYAH. Now, in this second broadcast, this will be brief. This is not what I had planned or constructed for the second broadcast, but the Spirit of AHAYAH has arrested me. I did not start out this day as a day in which to torpedo, deceiver. I know that so many out there in the Hebraic communities, so many of the Hebraic faith venerate the deceiver like it came down, like it was a gift from on high. Nothing could be further from the truth, children. It was provided to the community by heathen, and it contains heathenistic, anything that would limit salvation to just the children of Jacob. The deceiver is going to speak against that, and anything that doesn't stick with the myths that the Constantine Christians like to drum up, like the Immaculate Conception, that myth. Yeah, I'll say it again. The Immaculate Conception is a myth. The scriptures even say it is. Wow. I'll let that sink in for a moment. Because some of you of the Hebraic faith, some of you who may be new to these channels, or maybe been with us a long time, we're still holding on to that myth because that's what you were taught by your great-grandmother when you were 5 or whatever. I don't know where you got it. Got it off TV, got it from your favorite preacher, you got it from somebody. Got it from somebody in the schoolyard, somewhere. The Immaculate Conception. That Messiah did not come from the procreation way from a man. Nothing can be further from the truth. The deceiver will lead you to believe that's not true. And we're going to show the difference between what the deceiver says about the father of the Messiah and what the scriptures say in the King James, 1611 King James, as well as the Learn Paleo Hebrew Torah, Lashwan Kodash, Holy Tongue version. So, there most likely will be a third broadcast today. And children, if I seem a little scattered, it's because as we get closer and closer to that fateful day, that we begin this next era, if you will, in my life, as we begin to sit and to scribe the word of Yahweh to the 12 tribes scattered, precept version. I mean, the Most High has just been pouring out, precept upon precept, line upon line. Every time I open up the word and read, my mind is filled with the precepts about what I've read here and there, everywhere. I just read this one line. All the scriptures concerning Messiah coming from the seed of David, from David's loins, stuff like that, come flying out at me. And how the deceiver leads you not to believe that. It's very slight. It's just a little drop of poison, but a little leaven leaveneth the whole lump. All praises. We'll be reading from the Sefer, which we are dissecting today, and we'll be reading from the Holy Bible, 1611 King James version, and we'll be reading from the trusty but falling apart Learn Paleo Hebrew Torah, Lashwan Kodash, Holy Tongue, YAHAYAH Bible scriptures. And as we read from all three of these versions, I'm just showing or demonstrating how the Sefer, with just little tweaks, little changes. I mean, come on, children. It's this thick. So if you don't read carefully, and if you don't read line upon line, precept upon precept, a lot of stuff you just read over. A lot of stuff you look at your little favorite verses and see how they're rendered, and you'll say, yeah, it's good. But we're to seek out the book of the Lord, the book of the Most High, and read. We're to seek out the book of the Most High and read. And we're to read circumspectly. Not as fools, but as wise people. Redeeming the time, for the days are evil. It's an evil time we live in, children. The Apostle Paul, whom we all trust, said we're to redeem the time because the days are evil. Evil people will wax, he told us this too, evil people will wax worse and worse. That the way of truth will be evil spoken of. It doesn't matter. Anytime you hear the term, child, it doesn't matter. Check what they're saying, because it does matter. They're trying to deceive you. I don't even use that phrase, but I know it always matters. So when someone tells you something doesn't matter, they're trying to deceive you. They either have believed the lie, or they're trying to get you to believe a lie. They probably don't believe it themselves, but they just want to see if they can manipulate you for whatever reason, usually for money. And here at Highest House and House of High, we will never ask you for a dime, ever. Freely we receive, freely we give. Like I always say, children, and I must reiterate, these rebukes are free of charge. Every rebuke, every correction, every instruction in righteousness, everything that comes across these airways from this platform on this channel is 100% free. I will never, and Brother Holly means ever, ask you for a dime. Not one red cent. If a high wills to be so that I live, his son Terry, and the earth remain, I'll be back at it next week on the Sabbath day. All praises. Let's go. We'll be reading from Matthew chapter 1 in the Sefer. And we'll be reading verse 16. Matthew 1:16. And for context purposes, Matthew chapter 1 is the lineage of the generations of YAHAYASHA HaMashiach. Let's read verse 1. Matthew 1:1 from the Sefer. It says, the Sefer of the generation of YAHAYASHA HaMashiach, the son of David, the son of Abraham. And we skip down to verse 16. And it says, and Jacob of Yehud begat Joseph, the father of Miriam, of whom was born YAHAYASHA, who is called HaMashiach. Okay? Remember that. The Sefer says that Jacob begat Joseph, the father of Miriam, or Mary, of whom was born YAHAYASHA, who is called HaMashiach. We're going to read it from our trusty Holy Bible, 1611 edition, King James Version, the Gospel according to Mark. Let's read verse 1 again. The book of the generation of YAHAYASHA HaMashiach, the son of David, the son of Abraham. Pretty much identical. This is where it varies. Chapter 1, verse 16, we're skipping down to verse 16 again. And Jacob begat Joseph, the husband of Mary, of whom was born YAHAYASHA, who is called HaMashiach. Now it says JUSUS, who is called Christ in here. But I Hebrewed it up for sake of correction and clarity. I'll read it again. This is from the Holy Bible, 1611 King James Version. Gospel of Matthew, chapter 1, verse 16. And Jacob begat Joseph, the husband of Mary, of whom was born YAHAYASHA, who is called HaMashiach. Jacob begat who? Joseph, the husband of Mary. In the Sefer, it says that Jacob begat Joseph, the father of Mary. Why is this important, Brother Holland? Let's read it from here, and then we'll make that clarification. We're reading from the Learn Pale Hebrew Torah, Lashman Kodash version. Same verse. Matthew 1:1, the book of the generation of YAHAYASHA HaMashiach, the son of David, the son of Abraham. Verse 16, and Jacob begat Joseph, the husband of Mary, of whom was born YAHAYASHA, who is called Hamashiach. And Jacob begat Joseph, the husband of Mary. The husband of Mary. The father of Mary. What? The father of Mary. A little leaven leaveneth the whole lump. The Sefer's trying to get you to believe that the Hamashiach, YAHAYASHA, had no earthly father. Had no earthly father. It's trying to propagate the lie that he wasn't of the seed of David. That he didn't come out of David's loins. Via Jacob, via Joseph. Well, how did he come directly from David's loin, Brother Holly? Through the lineage. Through this person begotten this person, begotten this man, begotten that man, begotten him. That he's the begotten son of the flesh of Joseph. When did he become the only begotten of the Father? In the time of his birth in Bethlehem, or when he was raised from the dead? Let the scriptures speak. Book of Errors. Now let's let the scriptures speak. What is the question? If he was begotten from the loins of Joseph, if the child, YAHAYASHA, was begotten of Joseph, who was begotten of Jacob, who was begotten of David 14 generations back, then when did he become the only begotten of the Father? Let's read it. It was either one or two places. Either he was called the begotten of the Father by the Father the day he was born in Bethlehem, the day he came out of Mary's womb, or the day he came out of the womb of the earth, or that grave, or the tomb. Let's read it. Let's go to Acts chapter 13. Acts chapter 13. Let's start reading at verse 26. Acts 13:26. It says, men and brethren, children of the stock of Abraham, and whosoever among you fearing AHAYAH, to you is the word of this salvation sent. Where you highlight. So you got to be of the stock of Abraham and be walking in the fear of YAHAYAH for the word of salvation to be sent unto you. What is that word of salvation? Let's hear it. I'll read it again. Acts 13:26. Men and brethren, children of the stock of Abraham, and whosoever among you fearing YAHAYAH, to you is the word of this salvation sent. For they that dwell at Jerusalem and their rulers, because they knew him not, nor yet the voices of the prophets, which are read every Sabbath day, they have fulfilled them in condemning him. And though they found no cause of death for him, speaking of the Messiah, yet desired they Pilate that he should be slain. And when they had fulfilled all that was written of him, they took him down from the tree and laid him in a sepulchre. Now, the Apostle Paul here speaking to a group of Jews or Judeans or the YAHAYAH who were gathered in the synagogue on the Sabbath. He's telling them a story about something they already should know. That the one called YAHAYASHA was crucified under the order of Pilate. And when he had fulfilled all that was written about him, about his death, and all the things that his death would do, we can read about that in Isaiah, that he would die for the sins of many. All praises. That his soul was a sacrifice. All praises. That the Most High took pleasure. Said, yeah, this is enough in the sacrifice of him. All praises. It says in the book of Philippians that for the glory set before him, Messiah would endure the tree. He endured being crucified. For the glory set before him. Not for the pity set before him. Not for the suffering set before him. But for the glory set before him. What glory? The glory of being raised from the dead and declared to be the Son of AHAYAH. Oh, praises. Let's read it. Acts chapter 13, verse 27. For they that dwell at Jerusalem and their rulers, because they knew him not, nor yet the voices of the prophets which were read every Sabbath day, they have fulfilled them in condemning him. And though they found no cause of death in him, yet desired they, Pilate, that he should be slain. And when they had fulfilled all that was written of him, they took him down from the tree and laid him in a sepulchre. But AHAYAH raised him from the dead. And he was seen many days of them which came up with him from Galilee to Jerusalem, who are his witnesses unto the people. And we declare unto you glad tidings, or the gospel, how that the promise which was made unto the fathers, who were the fathers' children? Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. The promise made unto them. AHAYAH hath fulfilled the same in us, their children, in that he raised up YAHAYASHA again, as it is also written in the second psalm. Thou art my son. This day have I begotten thee. Highlight. Go back to Psalm 2. I believe it's Psalms 2 and 6. It said, thou art my son. This day have I begotten thee. What day? Was this the day he was born? In a manger? In Bethlehem? Which was in a line with Micah chapter 5. Oh, that fulfilled prophecy too. Where he was born. And what was Bethlehem referred to as? The city of David. I'm going to read verse 32 again. This is Acts 13:32. Matter of fact, children, as I have said previously, Deuteronomy chapter 30 should be mandatory reading every Sabbath day in your homes. Let Acts 13 be mandatory reading in your homes every Sabbath. Deuteronomy 30 until your family has it coming out their ears. And then you can go over here to Acts 13 and read them both every Sabbath. Oh, praises. Read the glad tidings into the ears of your family every week. Acts chapter 13, verse 32. And we declare unto you glad tidings, or the gospel, how that the promise which was made unto the fathers, AHAYAH hath fulfilled the same unto us, their children, in that he raised up YAHAYASHA again, as it is also written in the second psalm, thou art my son, this day have I begotten thee. And as concerning that he raised him up from the dead, now no more to return to corruption, he said on this wise, I will give you the sure mercies of David. Now let's get a second witness. let's get a second witness of him being declared the son of the living AHAYAH by being raised from the dead. We're gonna get three witnesses. Turn me to Romans chapter 1. We just heard from Paul in Acts 13. Let's hear from Brother Paul again on this subject. Romans chapter 1, verse 1, Paul, a servant of YAHAYASHA, called to be an apostle, separated unto the glad tidings of YAHAYAH, which he had promised afore by his prophets in the Qadashia scriptures, concerning his son, YAHAYASHA, our master, which was made of the seed of David according to the flesh. Will you highlight that? The Apostle Paul didn't believe in no immaculate conception. Oh, no. He said that YAHAYASHA was made of the seed of David according to the flesh, and declared to be, verse 4, and declared to be the son of AHAYAH with power according to the spirit of holiness by the resurrection from the dead. Declared to be the son. What's the declaration that YAHAYASHA was the son of AHAYAH? The declaration found in Psalm chapter 2. It's the Apostle Paul who was given this revelation that tied the two together. Oh, he didn't forget about it when he talked to the Romans. He reiterated it. Let's go back to Acts chapter 13. You know it's in Psalms 2. Let's find out what's in Psalms 2. And this is the gospel. Paul said in Romans chapter 1 that he's been separated unto the glad tidings. Here in Acts 13, he's in a synagogue preaching to a bunch of his own brethren of the seed and stock of Abraham, who the fathers pertain to, the fathers Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob pertain to, his own brethren, his kinsmen according to the flesh, preaching glad tidings to them, the good news, the gospel. Oh, praises. Let's hear the gospel. Acts 13:32. And we declare unto you glad tidings, how that the promise which was made unto the fathers, AHAYAH, hath fulfilled the same unto us, their children. So the promise made to the fathers wasn't fulfilled during the time of the fathers. Oh, no. It was fulfilled in their children's time. How was it fulfilled, Brother Paul? AHAYAH hath fulfilled the same. Verse 33, Acts 13:33. AHAYAH hath fulfilled the same unto us, their children, in that he raised up YAHAYASHA again, as it is also written in the second psalm, Thou art my son. This day have I begotten thee. And as concerning that he raised him up from the dead, now no more to return to corruption, he said on this wise, I will give you the sure mercies of David. Wow. Over here in Romans chapter 1. Let's read it again. Paul, the servant of YAHAYASHA, called to be an apostle, separated unto the glad tidings of YAHAYAH, which he promised aforetime by his prophets in the Qadashia scriptures. Quick point of emphasis, children. Did not YAHAYASHA tell us not to give that which is holy unto dogs? The scriptures are called holy right here. The Apostle Paul also called the law holy. We can't give the law nor the prophets to the dogs, according to the words of Messiah. So quit trying to evangelize these heathens. They're teaching on this channel, on these channels, I should say. Salaki. There are teachings on these channels on who the dogs are. And they're not to be given anything holy. Wow. You're forbidden by Messiah to speak about holy things with the dogs. And the scriptures are holy. Let's read it again. Concerning his son, is Romans 3. Concerning his son, YAHAYASHA, our master. Oh, I'm Shalaki. Sorry. Romans 1:2, which he promised afore by his prophets in the Kodashia or Holy Scriptures, concerning his son, YAHAYASHA HaMashiach, our master, which was made of the seed of David according to the flesh, highlight, and declared to be the son of AHAYAH with power, according to the spirit of holiness, by the resurrection from the dead, by whom we have received grace and apostleship for obedience to the faith among all nations for his name. All praises. Wherever we go, we're to bring these glad tidings to the children of Yasharahla, that according to Psalms chapter 2, YAHAYASHA HaMashiach, of the seed of David, of the house of David, was the one who was resurrected from the dead and declared to be the Son of the Highest. Oh, praises. He was not declared to be the Son of the Highest when he came and was born in Bethlehem. But when he came out that tomb, he was declared to be the Son of the Highest. One last witness, in case y'all don't believe me yet. Hebrews chapter 1. Let's start reading at verse 1. Book of Hebrews is the third witness on when was Messiah declared to be the son of AHAYAH. Was it Bethlehem? Or was it in a rented tomb outside of Jerusalem? Which was it? Hebrews 1:1. AHAYAH, who at sundry times and in divers manners spake in time past unto the fathers by the prophets. We've already defined who the fathers are. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They were spoken to by the prophets, having these last days spoken unto us by his son. So the son of AHAYAH speaking to us. Our forefathers spoken to by the prophets. But we in this time, we're being spoken to by the Messiah, the son of AHAYAH, whom he have appointed heir of all things, by whom also he made the worlds. I have said on these channels, and I'll say it again right now. If AHAYAH wills it to be so, I live, his son Terry, and earth remain. When the word of YAHAYAH to the 12 tribes scattered, precept version, is out and in print, when you open it up and read Genesis 1:1, it will read very similar to what I'm about to speak to you at this moment. In the beginning, YAHAYAH AHAYAH created his son, who he named the Word. And right, it will say, see Hebrews chapter 1, verse 2, Revelation chapter 3, Colossians. Everywhere it says that he's the beginning of the creation. But he created the worlds. Yeah. It'll read that way. And it'll have the references. Wow. I'll read it again. Hebrews chapter 1, verse 2. Having these last days spoken to us by his son, whom he have appointed heir of all things, by whom also he made the worlds. He made the worlds by his son. With his son. Who being the brightness of his glory and the express image of his person, and upholding all things by the word of his power, when he had by himself purged our sins, sat down at the right hand of majesty on high. So who's the one who is the brightness of AHAYAH's glory, the express image of his person, the one who is upholding all things by the word of his power, when he had by himself purged our sins, sat down at the right hand of majesty on high, being made so much better than the angels, as he hath by inheritance obtained a more excellent name than they. He got a more excellent name through inheritance. For unto which of the angels say he at any time, thou art my son, this day have I begotten thee? What day did he say that to YAHAYASHA? What day did he say that to Habashiah? Did he say that to him did he have someone walking there? One of those shepherds that were witnesses of his birth, one of those shepherds walking there and say, thou art the son of this day as he begot. No. That ain't what happened at all. Nope. The day he was raised from the dead. The day AHAYAH rose him from the dead. He said, thou art my son. This day have I begotten you. Did not the Apostle Paul in another epistle call YAHAYASHA the first begotten from the dead? He is the beginning of the new creation. The first one to come from death unto life. All praises. See, you can't believe in the Immaculate Conception. You can't believe he's divine from birth. No, he wasn't declared to be the son of AHAYAH until he was raised from the dead by the power of the Spirit. The same Spirit that raised YAHAYASHA from the dead dwell in you. It will also quicken your mortal body. Let it be said of you that it'll be a day when AHAYAH will say unto you, you are my child. This day have I begotten you. When he raised you from the dead. From the deadness of your trespasses and sins, that you are now alive unto AHAYAH through faith in YAHAYASHA. Rejoice, child. You too have been raised from the dead. You too have taken part in the resurrection. You too have the glory of the Father upon you. All praises to the Most High AHAYAH and to his Son, YAHAYASHA HaMashiach, the first begotten of the dead. Yada.